Virtual Racing School was developed to provide support to the next generation of sim racers. No matter if you're a rookie or veteran or what car or track you'll be racing, our goal is to provide training every step of the way. We found that iRacing can be quite difficult without proper training. There needed to be a way to prepare for on-track racing. With VRS, you can literally learn from the best sim racers in the world, including 4-time NASCAR iRacing World Champion Ray Alfala.
And Ray Alfala is a 4-time champion of the NASCAR Peak Antifreeze iRacing Series.
3-time iRacing Grand Prix World Champion Martin Kroenke.
Martin Kroenke becomes a 3-time world champion.
Rallycross World Champion Mitchell de Jong.
Mitchell de Jong is now champion for the iRacing Rallycross World Championship Series.
And many other top sim racers. Data packs include everything you need to start learning. Our World Championship coaches create the data packs by setting a hot lap or a series of fast laps for you to compare, analyze, and replicate. Data packs also include a tutorial where the coach points out techniques they use to hit the fast lap. This gives you access to the latest driving techniques and setups before you even hit the track. Sign up for a free account and download the VRS telemetry logger. With this application running seamlessly in the background, your laps automatically start syncing to the VRS website. From there you can analyze and compare 2 laps of your choice, whether it's your data, the coaches, or your teammates. VRS will automatically target improvement opportunities so you can get up to speed even faster. VRS also makes it easy for you to request and schedule one-on-one or group coaching sessions. These sessions can range from 30 to 90 minutes, and you can select the car, track, and setup combination of your choice. Visit virtualracingschool.com today to sign up and get started.
12 weeks of racing are lined up for us in the Radical Racing Challenge for this 2021 Season 3 Championship, and every strength of field race on a Friday evening will be broadcast by Apex Racing TV. Here is round number 1. My name is Sam Fitzpatrick, alongside me is Austin Knight, Mark Chanter operating the cameras, and yeah, we are going to start this embarkment on a 3-month championship in this awesome car. Austin, great to be back. Very happy to have you alongside me for this season. This is one of the best cars in iRacing. We all know that. And Watkins Glen to start off the championship. Lots of drivers entering this one. A very high strength of field race. Should be a good one.
It really is. We had a big off season ahead of us. Well, behind us now as the races just start. A update to the cars, reduce the drag of these cars and the amount of slipstream. So we're going to be seeing a bit more of a train as we're looking at the silver microphone of Alessandro Dalladone, giving us a preview of the track. That is a very nice paint. But yeah, Radicals, very competitive, very fun car. It's a fixed setup series, so everyone here is on equal footing, and it's the best of the best battling out here at one of my favorite tracks here in America, Watkins Glen.
Yeah, it's pretty cool to be here. This is actually where we started last season off as well, and of course anyone who saw that, it's going to be a really different race. And I mean, Austin noticed, Austin mentioned how we've had a change to the drag levels in this car, the slipstream effect. And that was one of the most fundamental parts of the racing in this car. The fact that really from 1.8 seconds back, you can get a significant advantage with the draft. And around a circuit like Watkins Glen, you could probably be about 0.8 of a second behind coming out of turn 1 and be alongside heading into the bus stop. This season, it's not going to be like that. We're still not 100% sure what it's going to be like. Of course, this is the first week of the season. The drivers are still getting used to the new draft effect. But it should be a radical change, forgive the pun. And certainly more than half of the draft is going to be removed, and that's the type of commentary we're going to be providing for the rest of this season, Austin. But well, I've hit a storm out of the park
into us, just the biggest pun you can make. You got the car name in there, and but yeah, the draft here is going to be very important to watch and see how this is going to be racing. It's going to be a lot more competitive and maybe a lot more physical between a few of these drivers. We're definitely going to be seeing on how it's going to work as qualifying is still going on. Kane Halliburton sitting on provisional pole by 1/10 of a second to Baba in second place, and that's 1 and 2 in the championship right now. And we had about 101 people sign up for this slot right now, and this is the top split. What SOF are we at right now?
Should be high. So got used to kind of high 3K, 3.9. Yeah, it's a little bit higher than normal. That.
I'm usually used to the Formula 3.5 numbers.
Well, that's even higher, is it not, or is it lower?
Yes, it is. That's up in 4.5 and 5K at times, and that series is popping off a lot with a lot of drivers leaving the Formula 3 series and, well, graduating into the Formula 3.5. I ran into a few of those drivers yesterday, and I feel like they should go back to Formula 3.
And of course,
shots fired.
Of course, you can watch that tomorrow night.
Yes.
And you won't have Austin to listen to on that one.
Unfortunately
So,
not. But I will try to make it on there by the end of the season. But instead of current bars on track.
Yeah, much more. There's really no excuse now not to watch it. I mean, there was a big kind of reason not to before, but now path is clear on that one. Should be a good one to watch. But this is also going to be excellent. Of course, 25 to 30 minute race. This somewhere kind of in the middle of that. It's a distance. Don't know with a good lap to move up into 9th place. The car number 9, so very much matching his season there. But of course, this series is based on distance, so the length of the races will change a little bit. Someone like Alton Park, for example, is going to be a longer race than somewhere like Monza, for example, because of the slower average speed. This one should be one of the fastest we have all season. Pretty much all the drivers have set their qualifying time, and in fact, the time is run out. We're up to the 8 minutes. The checkered flag is out. And we are going to go through the grid for the first time this season. And it's defending champion, Kane Halliburton. He starts up on the front row alongside his old foe, Aaron Barber. But a close qualifying there. Great quality for Paul Crabbe. That's a stellar effort to be only quarter of a second off pole in third. Then it's Tommy Wittens, Scott Callahan, Mick Thurman, Josh Cam, who won the last 2 races of last season, Eric Nickens, Alessandro Dalladone, and Diego Montano start in round out the top 10. Then it's Kyriakopoulos, good quality for Kyriakopoulos actually there. And then it's Mike Busson in 12th. Arturas Kundelis will be looking to gain some places. Seed number 3, of course, Arcel Kuram, Paul Taylor, Robert Woodward, Dylan Freckleton, Pete Tinkler, Ruben Dario Vicente is in 19th. Then it's Michel Lemon, Johannes Hesterman, and Luke Annett rounding out the 22 cars. I could see Luke back after a bit of a hiatus really for the last season and a half. Yeah, should be a good one this, Austin. Looking forward to it.
It really is looking to be a good one right now. 22 cars lining up and getting ready for the start of season 3 here in 2021. We got a few friends out on the grid right now. Alessandro Dalladone actually typing in our YouTube chat. Alessandro, focus on the race. Come on, don't bend it immediately. And yeah, Alessandro, if you don't know him, him and I, we usually do commentary together. We did a lot of it last season, so you might see a bit of banter between me, Sam, and Alessandro. It's gonna be a fun series, and it's gonna be a fun season here at the Glen. And I believe we're 10 seconds away from the start.
Here we go then. The lights will illuminate. Here's Halliburton versus Barber heading into turn 1. The season is underway. It is a storming start from Halliburton. He pulls a few car lengths clear, almost in just 10 meters right there. Barber is able to take a normal racing line through turn 1. Grab under pressure from Wittens and Callahan. No changes so far in the top 6 as they head up the hill for the first time. Real tricky part of the track when you're on cold tyres, so watch out for spins in the midfield.
Oh, we got a car
just with a full start, and Cam is now right into the wall. Kyriakopoulos as well, and Kundelis, who got off to a good start it seems.
Oh,
and there's still cars rattling down the straight there. But fortunately, only about 3 cars get some serious damage on that occasion. Shame for Josh Cam. 1 at Suzuka last season, 1 at Nordschleifer as well. But no chance here at Watkins.
Yeah, no chance here at Watkins. It was very tight, side by side, going up to the S's. I believe him and Dalladone were side by side just a bit, but I think Dalladone was just ahead of it. And then he just stormed off out of the S's. Probably got onto one of the curves right here. As we got the inside for Dio Altano and Paul Taylor right there. Paul getting overtaken as Matano jumps up into 9th place. Got side-by-side racing down here in the boots here at the Glen, and heading into the heel. Woodward trying to hold it around the outside. Now he's got the inside line to probably one of the most trickiest corners at the circuit. It's so low grip here and easy to spin it around.
Yeah, you can say that again. It's properly tricky that, as Vitsens just has got past Crab. So it took Vitsens a few corners, took him pretty much the entire lap to get past, but he did finally make that move stick. But currently Halliburton with a 1.25 lead, as we see Montane, man on the mission. He got past Taylor, and he's trying to get past Callahan, and now he's going to get past Nickens. Apologies, no, this is just behind Nickens, isn't it? But he's a bit too wide there, and he's going to lose that place. Almost maybe a bit of contact there. He had to really kind of dart out of the way, and now we see how strong the draft is. It's still going to be effective enough to bring these cars into play. It's not quite as strong as it was last season. Freckleton really with nowhere to gut them. You might think of making the bump drafts. There's two just ahead. And is everyone going to make it through the chicane? There's a car wide just ahead. That's going to be a slowdown for Taylor, I think. And he's going to lose a few places to these drivers now.
Montano and Callaghan were touching heading into the S's right there at the entry. They were able to keep it away from absolute carnage right there, but these guys are already throwing elbows at each other. We're 2 laps into this race.
Oh, look at Woodward. That's a storming move. It's past Taylor, who after a very good start for Taylor, it's just dropped back, and now Valdez is going to get past as well.
Well, Taylor is still trying to, I feel like, get all the grass off his tires, and you have 36 seconds to get rid of that slowdown, and I believe we got a replay of this incident at the start where it involved a car just getting absolutely thrown out of thrown into the S's. Here we go right now. Oh no, nowhere to go right there.
I wonder if Condelis kind of got involved in a separate incident there. I mean, he seemed to lose it a little bit afterwards. Here's the original one then for Cam.
It looks like it might have got touched on the inside and got, well, hooked a wheel on a curb. Might have been a combination of 2 things right there, but that is one dangerous crash right there.
And here was the Condelis one, so I think he gets a hit from behind.
Yep.
Yeah, I think he kind of lifted off there.
Oh yeah, he definitely lifted. And unfortunately, lifting off when there's a car on your bumper is not the best idea. But it's a smart thing to do, especially those crash in front of you. It's just driver awareness up in that blind corner is going to be very hard, especially at the start of the race.
Yeah, I mean, usually we're shouting at the drivers when you see a crash ahead, when you have a yellow flag, slow down. In that circumstance, it proved to be the wrong thing to do. And yeah, Condelis, who would have profited quite a bit from that incident, falling down. And of course, that's the bad news of getting a poor qualifying. He's still 3rd seed, should have been really probably up on the front 3 rows of the grid. But qualified laid down and really in the mix when that collision happened. So it's Halliburton leading Barber then, that gap kind of maintaining at just over a second between those 2. Vitson's not too much slower in 3rd, and he's struggled to drop Crab so far. He's just ahead of Thurman and then Dalladone. And Dalladone had a good race actually, and then Nickens. And then a bit of a gap back to Callahan, as I think we're going to see a move here for Alessandro Dalladone. Really got a good run onto the front straight. That is easy for the Italian. He's up into 5th place.
Up 4 spots, we're already qualified. Alessandro Dalladone looking very good right now. And his next target is Paul Crab, but Dalladone, he's still got, and Mark's now got the advantage of the draft. And this is going to be one one spicy move right here because Mark is going to be looking for those S's, but not the start. He's going to be looking for him at the end, heading.
Yeah, good chicane there from Dardoni. A bit more clear air for him, was able to pick his spots. And just pulls a few car lengths away. Hesselman also just going past Taylor. He continues to drop down into 14th. I think Nickens is going to be past Thurman here pretty quick, honestly. Just does not seem to have the pace of these drivers. Qualified well up in 6th place, but the Diach driver is threats of dropping down again. But whilst the draft is smaller, and whilst we do have some turn air in these cars, does still seem to be helping these drivers, which is good, because we just want to see a balance. We want to see some slipstream racing, we want to see some races where it's tricky to overtake. Here at Watkins Glen, I think it's a beneficial to be in the draft, but it's not quite as big a benefit as it was last season.
Yeah, not a big benefit for the draft last season, but still very integral to the car. You really got to get into that draft for a good chance at an overtake here, or else it's just going to be a, well, it's going to be an uphill fight, really.
Fastest lap of the race there for Halliburton. 2 tenths quicker than Barber. There's some gap between him and his rival. Last season, Halliburton was storming around this circuit, and honestly, he was going around most circuits. Usually in qualifying, he had about 2 tenths, 3 tenths on the other drivers. So Barber was a little bit closer in this qualifying session than he was in the last season. But in the race, just Halliburton with that 10th of a second advantage again, and just edging out that gap ever so slightly. Nickens, meanwhile, not quite enough overspeed there on Thurman, who's being saved by picking up the draft from Taladoni ahead, but he is dropping back now up to 6 tenths of a second, and Nickens will fancy his chances.
Yeah, as they head into the boot, Nickens trying to look down to the inside, might be showing his nose. Might be trying to steal a dummy right here as they head into the till, but right now just staying on the gearbox as we got a fight for 10th place between Robert Woodward and Arcel Kerham. Loving these paints and these radicals.
Yep, there's some pretty good designers. There's no is it McCutchinson? Is it McCutchinson out there tonight? He usually has a very good paint, a Scottish livery. I don't actually know what the result was earlier on, but he may be a very... In fact, actually, he's almost certainly watching the football. I think he has it, McCutchinson, unless it's probably ended now. I don't watch it. I'm sure you don't either, Austin. But there was a big match for Scotland earlier on against England. So I wonder, maybe he was a bit preoccupied with that one, but I'm sure we'll see the Scottish livery back next season.
I'm texting, I have no idea what this soccer is you talk about. And I just offended everyone in the chat, probably.
We didn't offend me, at least, but you probably offended Mark in the
probably.
Here comes Thurman, and I think he's still holding on against Nickens. Nickens can't get past.
Nickens really trying to get it past right there, but heading into the S's, it's so tricky to get that right. Look at the front. Halliburton and Baba, we've seen this sight before, but separated by 1.4 seconds here at the Glen. So already that new draft model showing itself very easy to pull away from cars behind. And this might be a very interesting season, looking at the schedule ahead and looking at how many chances to stay behind another car is going to be.
Saying Crab, how he's just got a little bit closer again. I honestly thought that Vitsons was going to have the pace to pull away. If Crab can keep this close through turn 1, you can see him move back here. Of course, so Crab lost that 3rd place on the opening lap. As Barber makes a storm over that. Look at the different lines that the drivers are taking. You can take all of the tarmac you want out there, but you don't want to be going onto the grass, obviously, especially in these very low ride height Radical SR8 machines. And Crab is going to be a bit closer.
Yeah, Crab's got a lot of
the
speed
draft.
right now.
It's not necessarily a great overtaking spot, this, honestly, because it's so narrow. And yeah, Fritz is just doing everything he needed to do there, but pulls too many of those maneuvers, and that's really going to get Daladone back involved. Daladone just dropping off a little bit himself, so it's mainly just Crab who's on a second wind. A few laps into this race, tyres well and truly up to temperature now, and he is looking very quick though.
Yeah, Crab really had a good run heading into the S's. Those S's are at the prime opportunity where you'll want to make a move, but you're going to have to line up that move heading into turn 1 and just really prepare for that move. Earlier last season, you could definitely line up that move whenever you want coming out of turn 2, but this new one, you're really going to have to think about this move heading into that bus stop chicane, because you're going to have pretty much the same speed. The draft's not going to be your best friend heading all the way into there. That inside line and outside line, they're so powerful, both equally their own, and it's going to be very tight on that entry. So you're really going to have to be side by side to even attempt that first.
Yeah. You're going to need to be within 0.3 coming out of turn 1 as well. It's very different to last season. We usually see at least one heroic move around the outside. We're yet to see it, but I think one of these drivers will be able to offer it up. By the way, quick shout out to one of our sponsors for this series. They are incredible over. They also provide live timing software as well. It's absolutely essential kit for us commentators, so we can have a good idea of what's going on out on track, and of course the overlay gives new viewers a good idea of what's going out on track. It's also a fantastic heads-up display as well for whilst you're racing. Many of these drivers will be using the SDK solved in that. Then do visit sdk-gaming.co.uk to get yourself a 14-day free trial, as Daladone is almost past Crab. Now they make contact. Crab just about keeps it in a straight line. Just behind them was Thurman going all over the place, and somehow those 3 cars who came into contact a couple of times there all get away without serious damage, but it's Daladone who's now up ahead, and this all stemmed from a little bit of a mistake there from Crab, but actually Daladone kind of earned getting this close and really positioned his...
The inside of the carousel, hauled it around to the outside right there, a little bit, very big send through that corner by Crab. Alessandro Daladone gave him room right there. Crab came up wide, a little bit of contact right there, and the person who came out that the worst was Thurman. And he did very nice to keep that out of the wall. And, well, he's still in this race, just down to 7th right now. And, well, he could keep, if they continue battling like that ahead of him, as, ooh, Nickens is looking tasty right now on Paul Crab. I think he wants some crab.
Was that a joke?
Yes, it was.
And I thought my jokes were bad. Come on, we can do better than that.
I know.
Here we go. Contact between the two. Vickens, Crab make contact twice there. And honestly, after that kerfuffle, I wouldn't be surprised if we see round 3 between those drivers. That was big contact. Thurman catches back up to them after his half spin. But it's Nickens up into 5th place. I wonder if we could get a view from the chopper cam, perhaps, of that incident, because this is totally unnecessary here, Austin. Whenever you crash down a straight, it's bad news.
He was already going down to the inside, side by side, and there's a little bit of weaving on the car on the inside. Crab gave him room down there, but it looks like it was Nickens that actually gave a little bit of weave and tapped him a little bit.
Yeah, I'd agree with that one. It seemed like he kind of swerved a little bit to the left. And, well, we've had 2 incidents there in 2 laps, or in the space of less than 1 lap, in fact, where we could have seen those 2 drivers. I mean, how Crab is doing this race, because he had 3 incidents there, which could have eased him in this race, and he's still going strong in 6th place, so he should be
got a lot of wing damage.
Very fortunate. Yeah.
And somebody who doesn't have a lot of wing damage is Halliburton, as their car is absolutely pristine right now. Just looks like it just rolled off the truck. They got Baba 1 second behind him, and Baba is slowly closing down on their rival.
last few laps have been very even between these two drivers. In fact, really the last 5 laps, just the gap's kind of just maintained. That last lap was 2/100, so a second difference as Thurman now gets ahead of Crab. So Crab with that wing damage as you identified, and that seems to be costing him quite bad now. And I think Montano, who has been very strong throughout this race, not a great start for Montano, but he's looked good since. And here it was for Thurman. I mean, this is as if we had the draft from last season. Honestly, this is what it was like. And
from Thurman, it's like taking candy from a baby right there. The wings not really helping him a lot, but with less than 5 laps remaining here for Crab, pitting I don't think will be a good idea. He can stay out there. He will be losing time, but I believe if he keeps his head down, he'll be able to save a top 10.
Yeah, no faster pair either in this series. So he'd station for a little while. It's going to not be a whole lot of fun driving that car, especially as the tyres go off. And in this car, it's mainly the rears. And it's absolutely dreadful tyre degradation you have in this car, because it's not necessarily, you don't really feel the degradation that much through the corners, specifically on the fronts, but it'll just be on the rears through high-speed corners where they all of a sudden just give up midway around the corner, and there's really nothing you can do to save it. And when you've got a bit less rear wing downforce as well, that's not going to help the situation.
There comes Diego. He's on the gearbox, looking onto the outside right now at Crab. And that target machine on that Jaguar has got that position right before the S's. And there goes Diego up into 7th place, but very wild over the curve right there. There's the rear end you're talking about, getting very loose already with 3 laps to go, and Crab almost got that position back.
I saw Vitson's name flashing red. He lost a bit of time to Vitson's, but he's all right. He's having a small excursion, it seemed, in 3rd place. Further back, Valdez and Hesterman in a tight battle. A few of these battles closing up in the closing stages. Freckleton, Curran and Woodward also in a 3A battle. Quick shout out, by the way, to Virtual Racing School as well, another one of our sponsors for this series. Over 50 data packs provided by Virtual Racing School. Absolute wealth of driver tuition you can get, and that's for road and oval racing. You can also get tuition for the Radical SR8. This is a fixed setup series. However, Pablo Lopez, who won the official series a couple of seasons ago, Season 1 2021, absolutely astonishing driver is Pablo Lopez, in the top 3 best drivers in this Radical SR8, and he can do tuition with you. You can book one-to-one coaching with him, or you can just watch his tutorial videos on how to improve in this Radical SR8. There really is not a better coach, so do check out Virtual Racing School to get yourself a subscription and performance. Is that a bit of damage on the rear wing of Vitson's car?
That is damage on the rear wing of Witten's car. Not sure how I got it, but I'm pretty sure that off-track we saw might be the cause of it. From where I'm looking, I think this is in the boot.
Well, he hasn't got it here, so I think...
well, it's heading into the boot, and I think we're about to see it.
Sherlock and Holmes.
Is this the back end? Oh, got into the grass. There's the off-track part. Is this just the...
He hasn't done it. Is this a separate lap, or is this the same?
Oh,
no, he's done it again. He hasn't learned, has he?
Yeah, the rear end's not really helping the car turn around right there. And now he's got Alessandro Dalladone on his tail end. And Alessandro might be going for a podium here with less than 2 laps to go.
That's the curse if I've ever heard one. We'll see if he can break the spell. Valdez is holding on against Hesterman here, although I think we may have to cut to that battle for 3rd position, because Dalladone, oh, he's very close there. I think this might be quite easy for him, because Vitsons is struggling for straight line speed, and Dalladone should comfortably be able to find his way. Vitsons will put up a fight. He'll stay to the inside of the circuit. Daladane pulling alongside. He may not be fully ahead, and that's what he really wants heading into the chicane. In order to get the move done comfortably, he's going to have to pull it around the outside, and that is a spectacular move through the bus stop. We were waiting for it all night long, and Daladane is ahead. And up
he got tagged on the rear right there. Nickens really wanted that move, and he had the better S section, and he actually gave his gave the back end of Alessandro Daladone a little bit of nudge. There's a bit of damage now, and here comes Eric Nickens on Wittens, and it's going to be very tight through here heading into the toe. Eric is looking tasty and spicy right now. Thurman wants to go down the inside, but here comes Nickens going down to the inside.
Tough defense from Wittens, but he did enough. He really cut off that line on the brakes and stayed ahead. So yeah, you're right, that Daladane's got some rear damage now. That shouldn't affect him too much down the straight. That's mainly just kind of cosmetic. It doesn't usually affect your performance too much, but he hasn't pulled away as much as I thought, and if Nickens had been able to pull off that move, then he'd have a good shot at Daladane here, but instead he hasn't been able to get within a car. He's moved on to the last lap, but Daladane, wow, he is struggling, it seems, down that pit straight. Gap really closing, and this could go any way here.
He's taking it very easy right now. He knows the car behind him has some wing damage, and he knows he's the leader of the pack. This is going to get absolutely crazy right now. White flag this time by Alessandro Daladane, Tommy Wittens, Eric Nickens. Here comes Tommy on the outside. They're nose to tail. 2 cars deep. Alessandro sends it into the bus stop chicane, and he goes through there, stays in 3rd. Tommy Wittens still in 4th place. Eric Nickens all over the back end of Tommy and that bent wing. And here comes Tommy coming back across the front nose of Eric.
Oh, wide.
Oh, no!
And onto the roof. That's what the roll cage is for.
And Crab makes his way under there. Alessandro Daladane pulling away. Now it's Tommy Wittens, Mark Thurman, and Diego Montano side by side, nose to tail, heading into the heel of the boot.
Well, final lap, this could be for Montana. Could he pull off one more move here and get 4th position? Because Thurman was way too slow on the inside there, leaving himself vulnerable. Halliburton out in the lead is going to take the race to win. Harbour will be second.
Tommy is not going to give up.
Is Wittens going to be able to hold on here? There's one more corner to go. Is there any way to the line? But he's almost into the wall there, Wittens. Can Montana get the run? No, he cannot. He just loses out by about 1/10 of a second. But what a fantastic final lap that was between those drivers, and Montana should be pleased with that one, gaining 2 places right at the finish. But it is Halliburton who takes the first race win of the season, the defending champion, holding off Barber to the end. And Daladane with still a very satisfying 3rd position here. The rest of the drivers, Taylor, Callahan, Kyriakopoulos, the last of the runners. That was really led up to a crescendo there, Austin.
Last lap, magic always happens here, but Eric Nickens, he's probably, not taking the magic right there. Had a great run heading into the boot. I think he got netcode hooked by Thurman.
Yeah, maybe Chopper Can again for that one. I can't tell if it was the contact ahead or the contact behind it.
Oh, no, it was the contact ahead. The angle that we had made it look like he got tapped behind, but no, it was the contact ahead. Got into the back and tried to avoid it, and I'm guessing the contact plus the turning just really hooked the car around. And, well, this is a very, very crazy first round of our season here.
Yeah. Yeah, that was not necessarily a fantastic example of the iRacing physics there. Looked like he got punched in the nose like a shark right there, and then did about 20 flips down the straight. But yeah,
eat your heart up, James Bond.
So sorry.
Eat your heart up, James Bond.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that's in the next movie. I'd watch that. Kate Halliburton. wins out by 1.4 seconds ahead of Aaron Barber. Alessandro Dalladone finishing in 3rd position. I'm almost certain we'll get a chat with him in just a moment. Then was Tommy Vitsons, Diego Montano with that great final lap, Mick Thurman, Paul Crabb, Dylan Freckleton. Under the radar there, Freckleton, but good job for him because he managed to hold off Kurum and Woodward. Those three had a good battle. Apologies we didn't show too much of it. But of course there were battles going on ahead. I believe they kind of followed each other home in the end. Then it was Ruben Valdez who held off Johannes Hester, and those two had a good battle as well. Then it was Michael Limon, Mike Busson, Paul Taylor, Scott Callahan, Dennis Kyriakopoulos. Eric Nickens was 1 lap down, of course, with that last lap crash. Then it was Luke Annette, Pete Tinkler, Josh Cam, and Arturus Kundelis. Those last two being taken out on the first lap of the race. By the way, final shout out to our last sponsor for this championship, Apex Racing Academy. Apex Racing Academy with 29 data packs, and that's on road and also dirt road racing. You can get setups, track guides, weekly group coaching sessions, and also it's integrated with VRS, so you can get some of the VRS telemetry for yourself on Apex Racing Academy. It's also super usable. I mean, I use it for the Porsche Cup Championship we have on a Wednesday, and it's just so easy. You just load into iRacing, all the setups are already downloaded, you just load it up and away you go. The setup sync technology is really nice to have. I certainly recommend downloading it if you want to improve on iRacing. Now, do we have any interviews with drivers? In fact, I think we are going to be able to have an interview with a driver, because it is multiple race winner in this championship, Aaron Barber, who joins us now in the commentary box. Wasn't a race win tonight, but Aaron, a 2nd place. You must be fairly pleased with that. Kane just seemed to have the slight edge on pace, but you certainly gave him a run for his money.
Hi guys, nice to see you again. Looking forward to this season. Yeah, I did my best to try and catch Kane, but my start was not so good. He started like a rocket, and then I thought Paul would dive on the inside of turn 1, so I took a wider line, and then I lost almost a second there, and then the gap was like 1.4 from the first lap, and it stayed like that on the whole race. Now with the new updates, I really like the car, so you can see who is fast and who is not. Actually, you gain nothing on with the draft. The 2/10 you gain on the main straight, you lose on the last corner because you have to lift a little bit. So I'm very happy with the pace. I knew I had also good pace, but yeah, Kane didn't make any mistakes. I anticipated that, and then I also drove like almost a perfect race. Except from the start, because if I was close on the start, if I had a better start, then it should have been closer.
So do you think if we had the draft from last season, you think it would have been you would have been able to catch up, do you think?
Yeah, of course, it's 100%, because you on the main straight you can make like a half a second, and now it's 1/10, 2/10 maximum, and then on the corners you gain nothing. So it's I really like the setup now, what they've done to the car with draft, because this was my only complaint. Now you see who has the pace and who is a little bit fast, because on bigger tracks you will see on the rest of the season there are too many drivers relying on the draft, and then you get like change positions every lap. But now you see it's more stable. It's if you have the pace, you win. If you yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's certainly much more down to the pace now. Brands Hatch is next. A circuit that we certainly haven't visited in this car for the last couple of seasons. Have you visited this car, that track in this car before?
Yes, last season I think, or the season before that, I drove to Brands Hatch. It was a new track for me. I avoided that track for so many times, but then I decided to do it. and then I drove a few laps. It's a really it's a small track, but it's really technical, especially the last and the first corner going downhill. It's yeah, but I like the track, but it's as I said, it's a technical track, so it will be the same, almost no draft, and then the dirty air the whole time, and then you see almost at the end of the race your tires they degrade a lot. So yeah.
Yeah, and how was the tire degradation today? I mean, do you think the degradation is going to be any different this season compared to last season, or will it be kind of largely the same?
I hope it will be different than last season, but now also the last 5 laps I had to lift after the first chicane on the right hand. I had to lift there a few times because otherwise I would have the car just started to drift. I don't know, maybe because driving behind Kane the whole race, but I think that's fair because you don't have to draft. You have a little bit of draft, like 2/10, but then you lose it this way with the tire degradation and everything. So it's fair. You see the pace lap 1.5, 1.3, 1.4, and then at the end of the race the same 1.3, 1.4. You cannot gain. Now it's up to the faster drivers. So I'm looking forward to fighting Kane. I will work on my start, and then we will see. Maybe I get a little bit closer to him. And we will battle for sure, but it's not like last season when you battle the whole time because on the straight you overtake, and now it's much more stable. I'm liking the radical. I feel like I love racing again.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like very pleased to hear that, Aaron, and we're certainly very excited to see yourself and Kane battling throughout the season. Is there anyone you'd like to give a shout out to?
As always, you guys. I'm happy to be back, and I look forward to doing this season with you again. And then to all the opponents, Kane, of course. I hoped for Kike and Manu to turn up. I knew Pablo wouldn't do the radical again, but I hope more fast drivers turn up so we can have more battles with up front. I'm really liking the changes now. So I just hope it will attract more people to the series.
Absolutely. Well, thanks for having a chat with us, Aaron, and best of luck at Briansach.
See you guys. See you next week. Bye bye.
Aaron Barber there, your second place finisher, and also some very positive words about the radical for this season, which is great to hear. By the way, quick shout out to Max LP80 for subscribing to our YouTube channel. Super appreciate it. Hopefully you enjoyed the race, and of course everyone else who isn't subscribed, do certainly make sure you do so, because we're going to be broadcasting the next 11 meetings of this Radical Racing Championship, and yeah, there's certainly lots more action to come on Apex Racing 2 with lots of other series. And also do check out our Twitch page as well, because we broadcast pretty much all of our races on that platform as well. So if that's where you prefer to watch your streams, then head over to Twitch and follow us over there. We've now got another very special interview with another one of our podium sitters. Aston Knight is standing by with Mr. Dalladone.
Alessandro, that race couldn't have gone better for the start of the season. How was that?
Absolutely amazing. I'm really happy. I didn't expect anything but top 10 maybe at the start, considering I started in 9th place. It's definitely a surprising podium, so I'm really happy, and I'm glad to be up there, because it's a very difficult car to master. Till you go 19%, it's easy to drive, but get the most out of it, you can't afford to make a single mistake in these tight races. It's absolutely amazing. One of the best races I had in a long time.
It certainly looked like a very great race, but then it turned into a fantastic race. You were already up 5 spots, but then when you saw the car in front of you have wing damage in 3rd place, what was going through your head when you were approaching him for that podium?
Well, I kind of knew that I had to attack him on the straight, because obviously with that amount of damage, Tommy would have been slower than usual, and once you don't have the draft in front and you also have some rear wing damage with this car, even though it changed quite a lot compared to last season, you're pretty much a sitting duck. So I had to do it, but still, it was a very hard pass because I had to go around the outside and avoid Tommy, because going too wide through the bus stop is not really ideal since you lose also a lot of time. But in the end, worked out both times since Tommy then attacked me also on the next lap.
Well, it was a fantastic finish for you, and in that beautiful commentary squad or Corsa car. Loving the microphone up there. Before I let you go, anyone you want to thank?
Well, first of all, you guys for doing this amazing broadcast. I do miss being in the booth, but today I can say that I quite like to be in the race. We'll see in the next few weeks if I'm able to race. Apart from that, a big thanks also to Ipcheck Law Firm on board since Daytona. After our accident, we now are covered. If anyone hits my car, I have my insurance. And obviously to everyone sponsoring this great broadcast. And also to the great donators, because if it wasn't for them, this broadcast couldn't be happening.
All right, thank you, Alessandro, and we'll see you later, all right?
Yeah, sure. Cheers, guys.
And back over to Sam with closing thoughts.
Yeah, that's rounds out our interviews tonight. So, of course, just a reminder to all the drivers who take part in the top split. As long as you take part in the top split, join us in the commentary box after the race. There's a link in the description below. There's lots of links in the description below, but one of the links sends you to the Apex Racing TV Discord channel. And if you click on that, then you'll join our Discord channel, and then after the race, you just sit in the interview waiting area, and we'll drag you up. Occasionally we'll run out of time, of course, where we're not able to chat to you, but we have an hour slot, so as long as you join within about 5 minutes of the race ending, we'll usually have time to have a talk with you. So certainly do that for the remaining races. And of course, if you've enjoyed kind of the racing out here tonight, then do make sure to sign up to the Radical in the coming weeks, whether that's for the strength of field race or whether that's just for fun. Next week, Austin, of course, we head to Brands Hatch. I mean, last season that would have been tricky to overtake. I mean, we've seen it at Laguna Seca, we've seen it at Alton Park where overtaking was tricky. That's a similar level of technicality, of course, as Aaron was saying. Yeah, I just can't see you being able to overtake there. The turbulent air in this car is quite strong. Just to stay within half a second is going to be a lots of effort.
It really is going to be a challenge, and it's going to be a week of practice that all these drivers are going to go in, especially if they got the championship in mind. It's going to be probably one of the most hard sought after poles because I'm pretty sure that's one of the tightest tracks that we visit here in this car. And Brands Hatch is such a classic track. A lot of drivers know it, but not a lot of drivers can master it, and it's all going to be about who's got the top game heading into there, because it's going to be so fun watching these cars take on that classic track.
Yes, I think it's raced in Radicals quite a bit, so it'll be pretty cool to replicate that, and it should be a lot of fun. But yeah, racing wise, it'll be quite a different event to, of course, so many of the slipstream circuits that we visited last season. No doubt the changes to the car really revolutionised the racing for this season. Of course, big thanks for tuning in. Thanks to our sponsors as well, Apex Racing Academy, SDK Gaming and Virtual Racing School for sponsoring this series. Do click on the links in the description below to check out more info on them. And as Alessandro was saying just a moment ago, thanks to everyone who's donated for this broadcast, to make this broadcast possible. Yeah, 3 seasons broadcast from Apex Racing TV in for this championship. So massive thanks to you guys for making this possible. But for now, from myself, Sam Fitzpatrick, from Austin Knight and from Mark Chancer, it is a perfect start to the season for Kane Halliburton. He'll try to make it 2 out of 2 at Brands Hatch next week. See you then.
Virtual Racing School was developed to provide support to the next generation of sim racers. No matter if you're a rookie or veteran or what car or track you'll be racing, our goal is to provide training every step of the way. We found that iRacing can be quite difficult without proper training. There needed to be a way to prepare for on-track racing. With VRS, you can literally learn from the best sim racers in the world, including 4-time NASCAR iRacing World Champion Ray Alfala.
And Ray Alfala is a 4-time champion of the NASCAR Peak Antifreeze iRacing Series.
3-time iRacing Grand Prix World Champion Martin Kroenke.
Martin Kroenke becomes a 3-time world champion.
Rallycross World Champion Mitchell de Jong.
Mitchell de Jong is now champion for the iRacing Rallycross World Championship Series.
And many other top sim racers. Data packs include everything you need to start learning. Our World Championship coaches create the data packs by setting a hot lap or a series of fast laps for you to compare, analyze, and replicate. Data packs also include a tutorial which points out techniques they use to hit the fast lap. This gives you access to the latest driving techniques and setups before you even hit the track. Sign up for a free account and download the VRS telemetry logger. With this application running seamlessly in the background, your laps automatically start syncing to the VRS website. From there, you can analyze and compare 2 laps of your choice, whether it's your data, the coaches, or your teammates, with proven opportunities so you can get up to speed even faster. VRS also makes it easy for you to request and schedule one-on-one or group coaching sessions. These sessions can range from 30 to 90 minutes, and you can select the car, track, and setup combination of your choice. Visit virtualracingschool.com today to sign up and get started.